So here's the painting we're going to do. So we're going to make this pretty simple, and first of all we're going to do our sky, so I taped it off to our horizon, and then I'm just going to take some blue paint, that's ultramarine blue, teeny bit of red, just enough to make it a little bit of a purplish color, not too much, lots of white. I'm using a bristle brush. And we will put that on top of the sky. So get a nice sky in there. Let's go back and forth. Long strokes. Back and forth. Go back and forth because you want to make your strokes long so you don't get any streaks. And that's how you get a nice blended sky. So keep putting that on. Just keep mixing your paint. Even if it doesn't come out exactly the same when you're mixing your paint, that's okay. Because you don't want everything to be exactly the same color, so it makes it more fun. There we go. Back and forth. Long strokes. You get a pretty sky up here. As you come down, you can go a little lighter so that the sky will lighten up a little bit there in the background. Go back over what you did on top if you like. Back and forth. See, long strokes takes all the streaks out. And lots of white. Now we're going to be putting trees down here, so it's okay, but still I like to have a light color down here in case you can see through some of them. Good. And it's good to learn that the sky is darker on top and lighter at the bottom. It's all good practice. Back and forth, back and forth. Good. Good. Keep going. So just put your paint on until you're happy with it. See how pretty that is? Pretty sky. Now, see, now you have your sky done. Now we're going to do our trees. Now just get a dark green. If you have sap green, that will be great. And a hooker's green or hunter green, something dark. Just tap into it with your bristle brush. Bristles will give you nice shaped trees. And just start on the left or right and tap. Just tap gently so you can get some shapes. See? And just come up and around. Good. And if your background is wet, you can let it dry if you like so that it doesn't interfere with your green. So it's better for it to dry first. Now you can get a darker green by adding a little bit of blue. You'll get a nice darker green. You don't want to be too blue. So just get a dark green. There we go. Different shapes. And you're just coming, tops of your trees can come up about, we'll say cut that in thirds, about a third of the way up on top of your tape. See, if you tap gently, you're going to get those nice tops. You can start at the top first and work your way down if you want to get a better shape again. And just keep putting in different shapes. See, I got a top just by touching, and then I move down. Alright, so touch, 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 touch. and fill in. Good. So go all the way across. Touch. Good. Make some higher than others if you didn't make them high enough. Touch. 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 There we go. Now you got a bunch of trees. Cool. We'll be doing more things with these trees to bring them out more. See? Now you can add some black to your green to really make some really nice dark trees for those bottom smaller trees. Just make some small ones down here at the bottom, just to give it some depth. Same thing, just tap, touch, and move over. Touch. It's one of those background trees. Just find out where your line is, so you can find out where you're going to put your trees. The top of your tape. Good. Now my paint is wet because I want to get this video done for you in a shorter period of time, so I don't have to do it in too many lessons. So I'm hoping to do this in one lesson, less than an hour, maybe shorter. If it goes over an hour, then I'll probably do 2 lessons, and then I'll put it in a playlist for you, so you won't have to be searching for it. Good. If you don't want to wait for this painting to be up on YouTube and you want to get the full lesson, you can go to my Patreon page and get it there. There we go. I'm making them really dark. Good. As you can see, they push back the other trees. The darker in the front really pushes back those other trees and make them look a little more distant. As you can see in the painting, the trees are a little more distant when you have some darker trees in front. That's the ones in the back there. We don't have anything done on top yet. Now you can take the tape off. There we go. Off she goes. Good. Get rid of that tape so you won't make a mess of yourself. Put that in the garbage right away. Okay, so then now what we're going to do to make this really easy, we're going to do the whole bottom of the canvas with our water. So as you can see, we have the water. And that's all we're going to do first, and we're not even going to put all those waves or anything in it yet. We're just going to do the basic color. Take some green paint, same sap green or whatever color you have there. And you can do both ways. You can put on your green first, like this. Start at the top, not the whole canvas, because by the time you put your white on, it'll be all dry. So you want to keep working wet on wet. So because it's still wet, we will add some white. Just watch. So you pick up some white. We're working wet on wet, so therefore we get to have some really pretty green. So that's one way to do it. Like that. See, so that way you get a little, keep some of your shadows. So another way you can do it is just add green to your brush, both sides if you like, and some white, maybe on one side, so it won't be too much. And that way you will get the same effect. You get to keep some of your green and some white, and they'll separate. I'll give you that really pretty green color. Alright, so just keep doing that. Add more white to your brush and some more green. Good. Go back and forth. We want to keep the green a little light. Good. If you lose too much green, just put some back in without any white. Just put just only green there. And because it's wet on wet, like I said, it'll separate. And you get some really pretty greens. Oh, let's continue. So I'm going to go back and get some green. I'm going to get some white. Look at all the paint I got. Tons of it. See? I don't know what size canvas you're using, but I'm using 11 by 14. I find 11 by 14 is good because then I can make my video a little shorter. I use less paint. And it's just a perfect size for doing some really nice paintings. You can get lots of detail in there. 8.5 by 11 or 8 by 10, anything small like that. It's hard to show all the details. This is kind of nice. So I'm just going to go in with some white this time because my green is just not separating enough. So there we go. See that? See how I'm getting some little bits of white coming through now? So now I'll go in with some green and some white again. There we go. So you don't want it to be all one color. You want like different shades of green, different values of green. And some of that white showing through and some of the darker colors showing, darker green showing through. See? So it's, you can see it's not just one green. So I picked up some white that time. It's a little bright, so I'm going to go back and get some green. See? Just back and forth, back and forth. There we go. See that? Good. Pretty simple. So let some of that white, the lights and darks come through. See that? So that's a good start. That is a good start. And we will be adding more lighter colors to that as we go with our nice, we'll be going with our, see all that goes in there, all those rocks and those little waterfalls and all those little colors. They all come next time when we decide to do maybe the rocks, and then we'll add some of those water lines. Okay, now just to show you the flat brush, because I was saying I was going to use my fan brush and my flat brush just to show you how the flat brush will work. Do the same thing, just pick up your green and your white, do the same thing we just did, and same, you'll get the same effect. See? And you can use either a Filbert or a small flat brush. So try either one and see what works best for you. Now whenever you're doing it, I always dampen my brushes if they're completely dry. I like to make them damp, not wet, just damp. I'm just going to make this so much simpler for you, I'm just going to add black to my, I got a Filbert, and a bit of white to my brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick places that I want my rocks. Now I'm going to say there's a rock right here. I'm going to make a line. Okay. Make sure you can see it. And then I'm going to make a hump. I've showed you this in my other videos. I find this easier to teach. It makes it easy for people to be able to get the rocks and the shapes of the rocks that they like. So you can shape it up any way you want. Then once you get that done, then you can shape it up any way you want it. You can add another little rock out here if you like. Another little hump. A smaller hump this time so that it looks like a smaller rock. And because I put a little bit of white on my brush, it gave me a little bit of highlights automatically. Now to make rocks, all you have to worry about is making the shadow part of the rock on the bottom in different places. So make sure that you got all your shadow down on the bottom. So when you make that line, make it nice and thick. And that way you got a nice shadow on the bottom. So yes, when you are doing the rocks on top of the water, you can let your water dry, okay? So I'm finding that if you, when you do an area, when you're finished with it, let it dry, and then whenever you're putting anything on top of that, because you don't want them to blend, you're not working wet on wet, you're working wet on dry. So let your paint underneath dry, and then do your rocks, okay? And I just put my rocks here like this. Made my straight line first. Made my hump. And filled it in. A little bit of white that I had on there will come through. Give it kind of a grayish look. But I'm leaving the bottom of my rock for now. I'm leaving the bottom of my rock a really dark black almost. Okay, so that we'll just leave those. We'll do highlights after. Don't worry about the highlights right now. And we'll do another one. Let's see. Where can we put another one? You can also add a bit of blue to your black if you want to, so it's not too black. You can add brown. You can all kinds of colors. As long as they're dark colors, it doesn't matter. Maybe there's another one over here somewhere. Maybe up a little further. That and a hump. Fill it in. You can add a bit of white to your brush so that you get a little bit of highlights. Not too much yet. We're not really worried about that yet, but still helps. Another little line out. Little hump. And you got that shape. Good. So let's see, we'll pick out more places for our rocks. Good. Let's pick out one, let's see. Right here. Okay, straight line. Hump. And fill in. Good. And highlight the top for now, but like I say, you don't have to worry about that yet. Just keep your rock black if you want to for now. But when you're adding black, and if you add any dark colors to it, you can also add a bit of white, okay? Just a little bit of white on your brush so that your rock will pick that up. So let's see, we got one here, and maybe a small one down here. Hump and a rock. There we go. We'll shape them up after. And across the way here we have maybe another small one here. Now the trees are going to be going over these, so some of these might even disappear, but it's good practice. And another one here. Let's see. We don't want too directly. We may have a waterfalls here, so we'll have a rock here. Okay, and so we'll say we'll put little waterfalls in here. And maybe there's some more waterfalls going down here, so you can add another little rock here. You can put your rocks wherever you want to, but be mindful of your little waterfalls. That's kind of important. And then we have another, maybe another, I'm going to show you how you can use different colors. And this time I will use burnt umber. Alright, maybe a little bit of, I don't know, green. Long as they're dark colors is okay. Maybe a little bit of blue. The blue will gray it up a little bit. And a little bit of white. I'm not going to mix it, I'm just going to leave the white on my brush. So, we can try that color. And we will do one maybe, there's the waterfalls coming down, maybe there's a rock underneath here. So just be mindful of where everything is going, okay? Good, and that's not dark enough, just add some black to your brush. Good. See, not different shapes, but we can always shape it up after. Okay, see, because now I put the brown on there and a little bit of black and a bit of white and green, and gives you a nicer shades. And where else can we put one? Maybe there's a big one right here. So I'm going to go with the brown. A bit of black, blue, green. A little bit of red this time. I'm not even mixing it very much. I'm just sort of throwing it on there. Just dabbing into everything I got here. A little bit of white on the corner there just to see what will happen. So just mix your dark greens or your dark colors and see what happens. Can't go wrong. Okay, so let's just do one right here. And a nice brown rock now. But I think we need a bit of shadow, so I'm going to put black in there. That'll mix with the brown and it'll give you some nice shades. Okay. Like I said, this is not the highlights. This is just getting shape of a rock. Good. Now we got another one. Maybe there's another one over here. I'm just going to make this kind of a line. Okay. So I'll make just sort of a line coming up from the corner, and I'm going to go out and just sort of more flat than round. Like I say, you can make any shape you want. Okay, so that's a different kind of rock. It's kind of flat. And the other one with brown and green and red and black, we can do another one over here. We can bring out a straight line up here this time, and then just bring the line down. Because you want to have some kind of different shapes. Okay, so for this rock over here, we can take a bit of our dark color and then add some white. Okay, so let's take the dark colors, just add white. What you can do is start at the top of your rock and pull down the front. Don't come all the way down. Like I said, we want to keep those shadows. And a little bit on the back. Good. What we'll do is we'll wipe our brush off because we might get too much paint on it. And then you're going to scrub at that one. And just scrub at a little bit. I'll show you different techniques in a minute. And then you're going to get this really nice shading on top of your rock. If you lost your shadow at the bottom, pick up black and just put the black in, okay? And then bring some of that black up into the rock, like that. Good. See how those black shadows really make a difference? Right? That's what makes it look realistic. Good, and we'll do the same thing with that smaller rock. Pick up some light colors. And maybe we'll do the front of this rock here. I better pick up more lighter color. Like I said, I may have to exaggerate it for you so you can see it better. So I'm just going to go down the front here, and I'm going to go down the back here. Make it look like two. See that? What we'll do is wipe off our brush again. Wipe it off in your tissue. Don't have to clean it too well. Just tap at those little edges there. Soften them up. Good, and we'll get a liner brush then to fill in the darks. Because that's a small rock, so we're going to need to fill in. So just get a really dark color. It can be brown and blue and black. And we can just fill in some of these darker colors here so that we don't lose the bottom here. And maybe put a couple little lines going up through here. Kind of gives it a little more of a realistic look, see? So let's work our way down, and we will go with the next one. So this one here we can shape up even more. So we can take some of our black paint for now and just take it and make a few shapes. Probably pull out in the front here a bit. And then move it back in. Get the shape you want. If you don't want it to be too round here, you can fill it in here. Good. Whatever shape you think that you like. Good. See, it's a different shape now, isn't it? Perfect. And then lighten it up with your white, a little bit of brown if you like. Alright, so just some of your colors that you can pick up on your palette. And I'm seeing some shadows already right between here. So I'm just going to put some of this on the top. Just right there for now. I'm going to wipe off my brush because I probably got too much paint on there. And I'm going to go back in here and move that around a little bit. And that way it won't be too bright. And I'm going to put a little bit on the top up here. See, and I'm just coming down over there so I keep those shadows. Once you keep your shadows, so you can even keep a shadow in between those two, and come on down a little bit. Now I don't have much paint on my brush, so that way I can play around with it till I get what I like. See? And then I can now start highlighting a bit more again, because now I got all the shapes done. So now I can add some more highlights. See? I'm just tapping it on or touching it. A little bit more up here. And some more here. And I'm kind of being gentle with my brush. There we go. And so now I have more shapes. Okay, so all I did was I took that round rock and I moved it out in the back here. A little hump there, a little hump here, a little hump there. I got a better shape. Good. I'll make my paint a little brighter so you can see it. So just be mindful of the darks. Keep those darks. If you lose the darks, we will put them back. Okay, so just put some highlight up here. Maybe in the back here. That gives you some shapes as you move your paint around. Right? See that? As long as you keep those darks, you're going to be fine. And then you just tap at it to move that paint around a little bit. And if you lose your darks, we can put them back in. So we just go back, get some black, go down here, and put your black back in. Or any of your darks that you're using. Pull them up into what you just did so that you can give it more of a realistic look. See, that looks cool. Now this one here, let's try something different. Some yellow. Let's see. Some yellow and some brown. And some red maybe. You know. Let's get some fall colors in there. Maybe kind of a orangey color. With some brown. I don't want too bright. There we go, some brown. And we will do that. So let's go on top of the rock here. Let's go right on top of it. Past what you just did. And then we'll move it into the rock. And leave some of our shadows. Alright, so we got a different kind this time. So that's nice, isn't it? Or is it too bright? If you don't like that, we can always add more brown. So whatever, if you like that color, that's good. And then you go back to your black, or your really dark brown, or any dark color. Get your shadows, okay? So get your shadow back in there. Move on up. Down here, move up a little bit. Get little crevices and little things going on there. Just lift up your brush a little bit so that it makes skinnier lines. You can use a liner brush. Alright. We will move this one in a little bit more. See, they're cool. Good. Alright, so this one here is kind of flat. We want to keep it looking flat. So use some of your gray color. Pick up some brown, some black, some blue, some white. And we're going to drag over some of these. I'm using my Filbert. I'm kind of skipping over a few places just to get that rocky look, and then I'm going to pull this part here, I'm going to pull down a little bit, and some more here and here, little bits, little dabs here and there, and back underneath here. Just going to skip over. Alright, I'm going to leave that a little dark here so I can get to, and then I'm going to skip over and go here again, and then I'm going to clean off my brush. And then I'm going to soften up some of that. Good. And what I'm going to do next is I'm just moving my brush around just to see what I can get. You have to experiment with this. It's kind of, rocks can be a little tricky, but if you know, just experiment with it. And if you get too much on, you go back and get your black and blue, whatever the darker colors you're using. And then you get your dark in there, see? And then pull some of that up into your rock. I'm very gentle with my brush, okay? And then I'm going in here, and up here, and around here, okay? So, pulling it in a little bit into the rock, going into the dark areas, and then pull it into my highlights that I did. See how that shapes up your rock so well? I have several other videos on how to paint rocks, and I have different ways of doing them, so this is another way. It's something like some of the other ways I did before, but there's always different techniques in doing rocks. Depends on the kind of rock you want. Now clean all the dark off your brush and pick up some of your lighter color, orangey color. And just add a little highlight on there if you like. Just a little bit here and there. You don't have to worry this time because you have your rock done. So all you need now is just add a few of these little highlights. That's it. Good. Okay, so this one here, we'll probably just may flatten it out on top here and then come down. A little bit of a different shape than one I have in my painting, but I kind of like this shape here. Alright, there we go. And I'm going to come down to give it a kind of a, that it's coming down instead of just flat on the top. There we go. I'm going to shape that up a little bit here. Good. Now we'll put our shadows back in. Your dark colors. And we're going to go at the bottom like we do. And then we'll pull that dark right up into the rock. Right up to get those creases. Good. A little bit of a bump. Now when you let your rock dry, you should be able to get better shadows. Good. And now we'll put in more highlights. Put some highlights up here. Nice and bright so I can see it. Good. Still using my Filbert. Just dragging it down over the front here a little bit. And we got the sun on the other side, so it may be shining back here a little bit more. You know, so you're probably going to get a little bit dark there. Good. We will use the liner brush and bring in some nice thin lines. Okay, so let's bring in some thin lines with our liner brush. See there? Okay, there we go. There we go. See that? Good. It's just a matter of playing around with your rocks until you get the shapes you're looking for. There we go. Maybe there's one up here. Yep. Just keep playing around. There we go. So I don't have my paint dry, so you dry your paint and you'll get better results. Good. So depending on how much highlight, you don't want too much highlight here because remember the sun is coming in from the right, so we may not be able to see much highlight on there. Maybe we'll see some up here more. A little bit on the edges here, right? So just kind of think in your head, where do you think that sun is hitting off of? A little bit up here, maybe? Yeah, a little bit there, maybe it's shadowy back there. I don't know, right? I'm not there, so I'm just trying to guess where I might see some light. Like I'll see light over here. Okay, that's not a bad little rock. There we go. Let's get some of our grayish color, or maybe some of our brownish, orangey color. And we'll go on top of this rock here, just on the top. Pull down the same way, just pull some of that highlight down the front. A little bit here. There we go. Maybe it's a little one down here. A couple little extra rocks down here. Right? Separate some lines to make look like different rocks. When you get your highlight on, you'll be able to see. See the little rock right there. Look, you didn't even know that, did you? Okay, there we go. Pull down, trying to be mindful of where the sun is hitting. It's hard to really know unless you're there. But now we're going to be putting trees and different things going on there, so it'll cover up any of our mistakes. So we got our shadow here between these two rocks, so we'll take that up into this highlight that we did. Put our shadow down underneath here and pull it up. Alright, our shadow color. And there's a big crack right here. Good. And there's a shadow color under here. We can shape that rock up a little bit more. Right, so we can probably put a little hump out here. Make that into another rock. So you get a little bit of a highlight and then just pull in some of the highlight there. You got all kinds of things going on there, see? Shape it up the way you want. Put a little highlight on there. And then you can pull some of the highlight into the dark if it's not making any sense. It's got to make some sense, hey? Right, so let's get some cracks in there. There we go. Oh well. Okay, we'll leave that for now. I'm not fussy about that one yet. It's going to take, it takes time to get your things the way you want them. Maybe I'll just give it a little bit of highlight over here. Just give it some more shape. A little bit here and here. Just to shape it up a little bit, because I don't see much of a shape there, do you? We'll do this together. I won't leave you and come back with a fantastic rock. And you'd be like, how'd you do that? Well, struggle. Okay. I think we're getting there. What do you think? Looks kind of weird. Alright, so we'll add some of our line. See if that helps. Alright, so we'll add a few little cracks and stuff in our rocks. Separations between rocks is good. And some separation here. Here. Good. Some separation here. And there's a little bit of a line going off there. So it kind of gives it a look of some different rocks going on there. Alright. That's not bad. I think there's all different rocks going on there, like they're all piled on top of each other or something. Now we want to keep adding rock, you know, keep making shapes. We want to keep making sure that we have the shapes we're looking for. Alright, so just get the shape you want. Alright, even though we put it there, we put a little hump and everything, but we don't have to keep it exactly that way. But at least we got it in place. So I got 2 rocks there now, maybe 3. Let's see what we can do with that. Let's get our light color. I just have that kind of a cream color. See, that's just red and yellow and a bit of brown. burnt umber, a little bit of white maybe, if you want to lighten it up. Okay. So we'll come back with this, touch at the top of the rock and pull back. Good, and we'll do the same with this one over here. Pull back. Good. See how instantly, just by pulling back like that, you have instant rocks. See that? Isn't that cool? Maybe there's another one right there. Look at that. Just by pulling back, you got these little... I might put a little bit in here just to say we got some. Alright. Maybe it's a little bit down here. Now we can always put our shadows back, so don't worry too much. Basically, we want to get a rock first, and then we'll worry about that. So, let's put a few highlights on top of there, so you can use your brownish color. And put that on top. Good. Oops. Alright, so we'll put some of that brownish color on top of there. There we go. And we have some nice little colors going on there. Isn't that pretty? And we will make some of our shadows in between. Good. Alright, so let's put some of our shadow back. I can see some nice little curves right in between there. Do you see them? So, good. Make sure we get some shadow on the bottom. Pull them up into your rocks a bit. It's a nice little rock. I like that one. Good. We have another one up on top there, so let's work on that one too. See, they get easier. The more you do, the easier they get, and you can do different shapes. You can change the shapes. Let's take some brown and some yellow. Brown and yellow. Burnt umber and yellow, and maybe a little bit of red, like we did with this one over here. And I like to have it a bit brighter, so I'm going to add a bit of white to it. Alright, let's see what that looks like. You don't know what the colors are going to look like until you put them on. Alright, that's nice. I'm just going to put that right on top of there like that, like a V. I'm going to clean off my brush, wipe it off in tissue. I'm going to move it around a little bit. I'm going to tap at it. I'm just going to put that on there. I'm going to leave that bottom a little bit. See, and I got a solid color there now. That's okay, because we're going to do magic, aren't we? We're going to take our dark color. We're going to go at the bottom here, and then we're going to pull up into the rock. Good. Good. And then we'll get our little liner brush and add more. Pull up a little bit of darkness here, because we can always... Good, and then we're going to take our brush and clean it off really good. And then we'll just tap at those edges there so that they all blend nicely. Tap, tap. You're working wet on wet when you do that. That's a nice little rock. I like that. I'm going to add a little bit of white and yellow to the top of my rock here, in case the sun might have found it. There we go. Cool. Good. I think I'll leave that one. That's kind of cool. Okay, so let's take some yellow and red, make an orangey color. And let's add that up here to the back and move it to the front a little bit. And also this one here. So I'm just squiggling my brush around and leaving some shadows in between. Okay, so see what I did? Good, and now we're going to put our shadows back. So we got a bit of a shadow here. We can straighten out that edge. We can come on up and through here. shape up our rock. Another little one there, look. I didn't mean that to happen. So I'm just going to bring it out there. Okay, and then we got that little piece on the back there. We'll add some of that color here. And then we will add some more of our dark color here. I'm very gentle with my brush. I want you to know that, because if you push too hard, you're going to get blobs of paint. But if you just sort of feather your brush, you'll get all kinds of nice things happening. Almost finished with our rocks now. So, we can even add a little more highlight and make another little rock right here. And maybe there. Try to find places where you might be able to put some extra shapes. See? They're kind of nice too, aren't they? So let's take our liner brush and let's finish off our rocks with our finishing details. I'm going to take a skinny brush right here, see, long liner brush, or it doesn't look quite as big as the rigger brush. It's a long liner round brush, and I'm going to take my dark colors, which is black and brown, greens, all the dark colors. Okay, just make sure all your colors are nice and dark, and then you can have a nice dark color for your shadows. Alright, and then just find places that you need. Just make sure you can see everything. Good. So just find your rocks and put these lines in again. Put extra ones in. Alright. If you don't feel like you need any more, you don't have to put any more in, but they look nice when you put those in. It shapes up your rocks really nice. Good. So like I say, if you don't feel like you need them, or if you put in too many, then just put back some of your highlight. There we go. So I'm just trying to find places where I think they might look nice. Trying to find things that are already shadowed. Alright. We don't want to overdo it, but it's good to find places to put those dark shadows in. See? I really like this rock. It's really nice. Sometimes things come out a little better than others, so you know. You don't have to worry once you got it done. You don't have to worry about trying to reshape it or anything once you got all the shapes done that you like. Good. So I'm just putting the last final details on my rocks. You can certainly put more highlights and more your lines in if you want, but if you're happy with them, then just leave them alone. And when your painting is finished, when you're fully finished your painting, look at it, and if you need more, because when you finish your painting you can see a lot more things going on, and what you can do is, if you see it needs a little more small details, a little more highlight, whatever, you can do that then. When you think, you say, when do I call it finished? How do I know it's finished? Well, when you feel like it's finished, look at it again. Say, I wonder if I need a little more highlight there, a little more highlight here. But not much, just little dabs of highlight really makes a difference, or shadows. Highlights and shadows, that's all you have to really worry about at the very end of your painting, okay? So they got some nice, that will dry, and then of course it will dry a little more. If we need any shadows or reflections from the rocks in the water, if we need water lines and our little waterfalls and a few more extra rocks. So that's going to take a few minutes. So that's what we'll do next. I'm going to use my fan brush, but you can certainly use, this is a Bristle fan brush. I'm going to try both. I have a synthetic one here. And I also have a flat brush. Okay, so we can try those just to see what works best. And you can do the same, okay? So I'm going to try this Bristle scruffy bristle brush now and see if that gives me some nice water lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some white with a tiny bit of green on my fan brush. And I'm going to put a little bit of a water line up here under the trees. Just because it's scruffy, it'll give me some little wavy kind of lines, which is nice. Maybe the water is moving a bit because we get those waterfalls going. See how the, because all the bristles are separated, see? And that's why I'm getting this nice kind of wavy. And here. Alright, see how I'm bringing out those water lines into the water? Because we want it all to be one. We want it to all be... I'm going to add our small rocks there too. I just don't know where I want to put them yet, so I'm just going to put these little water lines in. I got some green mixed in with my white. I'm just going into my paint, and I'm keeping my original color there. Now we're getting to our waterfall. So our waterfalls, we might bring it down here, and then a little one coming out here. Let's try that. All right. Now, so you pick up lots of white on your brush, on your fan brush, and you can use your flat brush also, or your other fan brush, which is the Bristle. Now it's coming in from here somewhere, and it's falling down. So I don't like that fan brush for me. So if that fan brush doesn't work for you, I like my nice scruffy one. I'm going to go back to my Bristle scruffy brush. Okay, so the smaller river here, the waterfalls, we'll add more white. Touch over and down. Touch over and down. Pick up some green on your brush so that we don't lose our green. I'm just putting a little bit on there just to give a bit of shadow, and I'm put my white side down. Touch over and down. See how the green goes back in there? And more white. Touch over and down. Good. Get some over here. Touch over and down. Touch over and down. Good. Gets a little smaller when it gets in the back there. And then we have the one in the front. Pick up white. Touch over and down. And over and down. Put a few little rocks there to clean it up. Good. Come over here. Just to fill it in. Now I'm going to clean that up. Pick up some green, some white. Messy brush I got. See? We'll clean this up down here. Go back and forth. Come over here. Pick up some more white. We need more white. Go get it. Good. I don't want to lose my green, so I'm just going to Come back and get some more green. I'm going back and forth with my green and my white. Adding that there. Add a little bit here in between these two, just to clean them up. Good. And put a little bit under here. So you can see that better. Some more white. Good. Let's just clean up the areas that you think you need it. Working my way down a little bit. Some green. Still have some white on my brush, so that's why I'm keeping my colors there. And then I'm picking up more white again. Go under here. Coming right out into my water. Good. So we're doing our water lines underneath our rocks here. So you can bring it all together. Not pushing very hard. And some water lines coming out from down here. Pull it off from the rock there. Good, that kind of lightens up the bottom a little bit. Alright. See? That's good. Just putting a few little rocks in between those there now. So we'll pick up our black and our dark colors and we'll put some rocks, one up here, one up here, just touch, touch, because they're going to be tiny, so you just want to touch. Maybe there's one here between the waterfalls. See that little tiny one I just touched? There's a little one there at the bottom somewhere. Maybe over here. Maybe there's one over here. Just touch. Just touch these little rocks. Just touch. Good. Where else? Maybe there's one in here. Pick up your dark when you need it. Could be one over here. Good. And maybe a little one here. I don't like that line there, it's too much. Okay, there we go. And maybe there's another one here. So just put a few little rocks here and there. If we get too many, we can take them out. Just kind of experimenting now where they might look nice. Maybe there's a couple down around the edge here. A nice one here. So, let's put one down here. There we go. That will clean up the edge over here. Just by putting in a couple little ones over here. Just touch. There we go. And don't think I need them anywhere else. You can put them wherever you want to. Good. And we'll just take a little bit of a white, a little bit of green for some highlights. We'll just touch the top of those. A little tap. Just touch. 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 Just touch them because they're so small. You just need to tap on top of those just for a, look like a bit of a highlight. Good, and we're going to need to add some water lines to those also. So let's try a little flat brush this time. Add a couple little water lines just underneath what you already, underneath your rock there. That'll clean up the edges of them too. Just little lines underneath those. Okay. This one up here I need to fix a little bit. Going to drag that right out into the green. Pick up some more green so I don't lose it all. There we go. So you can always go back and forth and fix up what you need to fix up. And some water line underneath here. Clean up the edge of that one. Clean up the edge of that one. So basically you just clean up the edges. See? Coming along, isn't it? Alright, I think we'll let that dry and then we'll start adding some of our colors of our fall leaves and things like this here next to our rocks. See, we'll probably just add some of those first before we add the trees. Okay, good. Now this is where our sponge comes in now, our sea sponge, and I have a little bowl of water and I got my sea sponge in there, and I'm just going to wring those out. I'll take one. It's really small, but you can use bigger ones if you want. I just like using small ones, I have more control. See, so I have this sponge, sea sponge. So I have on my palette my red and my yellow, and I have some. If you got burnt sienna, that'd be great. If you don't have burnt sienna, we'll just use the brown, yellow, and red to make our own burnt sienna. And I have some yellow ochre if you want to use that. And I'm going to take my sea sponge and I'm going to dip it in some yellow. Alright, and some red. Good. And maybe a bit of, little bit of brown, not too much. Just so we can get the shadows. Tap it off, see what comes out. Alright, so we need a bit brighter, a little more yellow. So tap it off on something to see what the colors are going to be like. If you make sure you like what you see. Tap it off on something, whatever you can find, till you get the colors you like. And then, when you're happy with your colors, then you can start tapping on your canvas. Okay, so just tap all the colors and see what you get. And if you're happy with it, then you're all full. And then you're going to tap on some of these colors. So let's tap on a few up here. So let's tap on a few up here. Let's see if we can get something up here. Tap on very gently. Just tap. Good. Got a few there. Just need a few there because that's where the tree is going to go. Get some more color, maybe a bit of red. And so we're going to use the rocks for a guide, as if they're coming off the rocks or they're around the rock area. Just tap a few there. Good. Some more yellow and red. So tap into what you want. Good. Just tap. Good. Down here. We're just putting our colors on. And we'll have some, where else do we want them? Some more yellow, probably some yellow ochre. Some brown Just a little bit of shadow. And we'll put some over here. Put some here. Tap it on. A little bit of red go in there. So you're going to go back and forth with your colors, okay? There's too much yellow, then you put the red over it. And a little bit here. Good. Some more yellow. Back and forth. Yellows and reds. Good. And maybe some down here and here. Just tapping them on. Good. We have a few little down here. Some yellows and reds. Good. Nice. It's pretty. Starting to come to life. I'm going to add a little bit of green to mine this time. Just a little bit of green to put some green up here. Let me see, maybe a little bit here. Yeah, just putting them everywhere I can find place that they might look nice. These could be trees coming out from the edge. Maybe some down here. See all that work we did with our rocks? Oh no. Oh no, she says. Lost all our rocks. And maybe a few little ones down here. Good. So now we got some color going on there. Yeah, and we can add whatever you want. If you need more, just put some more in there. Good. I got them nice and bright so you can see them, okay? If you want to dull them down a little bit, just add a bit of green. Just add a little bit of green if you want to dull them down a bit. With the trees, what we'll do is we look for a spot that we think will look nice. So I'm thinking we'll start at this rock here. Alright. And I want to go to, I want to make sure you can see it. We'll start at this rock right here. This is the second last rock from the bottom. Alright. And we'll bring the tree almost to the top of the canvas. Alright, I think you should be able to see that. So I'm going to put brown on one side of my brush. I got my flat, small flat brush, brown, and white on the other side. Okay, and I'm going to use a chiseled edge to bring up my tree. And I'm going to bring it up, right up to here, okay? So, just watch first. Touch where you think the tree is coming from. Push a little bit hard so I can get a wider tree. And I'm going to come up. I'm kind of coming up a little bit tilted. Okay, so I ran out of paint. It's okay, I'll put some brown back on and some white. Alright, and then I'm going to continue where I left off. And I'm going to come up, and I'm going to bring my brush out so that it gets skinny at the top. Alright. So that's a stick. That's a tree. And I'm going to do that again. Brown and white. And I'm going to make this one come out this way. So on your chiseled edge, touch, push a little hard, and then bring your tree out. Bring it up past the other trees and lift. If you run out of paint, just go back and get some more. Touch and push. Good. We got those two trees ready. Almost ready. Now on the other side, we're going to make a tree a little further up because we want it to be a different tree. It's got to be a little smaller, even though it looks, you know, it's a big tree, but it's further back. We'll say it's further back. So we'll bring that tree probably up here. Okay, so this one goes straight across and come up one or two rocks. Okay, and then we'll go straight up with our tree. So we'll go black on one side of your brush and some white on the other side. So we get our highlights all at one time, see? Alright, so because the sun was shining, we put the light side on the right here on these trees, and because the light is on the right, that means the dark side is going to be on the left. So we'll pick a spot. I'm going to try right here. I'm going to go straight up. I'm going to touch and push, and not as hard this time. I want my tree to be a little skinnier, and I lost some paint, so I'm going to go back and get more. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to come up, and I'm lifting my brush as I get to the top, okay? See? So, show you that again so you'll see what I did. So I just went in with the chiseled edge of my brush, go on the chiseled edge and move up, and as you get to the top, start pulling your brush off so it gets skinny on top. Okay? Good, we got that much done. Now using your same brush, we're going to add some more branches. So won't press too hard this time. So we'll just take a few branches off of here. Just take a few off of here. So use your chiseled edge of your brush and don't push too hard. And get some, so you pull out one line there. Maybe another one up here. And maybe another one up here. It'd be easier for you to just pull out some of these first rather than trying to go all over the place, and that way you can see what you're doing. Maybe another one out here. Good, just pick up some black, a little bit of white, and on the other side, if that's not big enough, just go and back out and get some more. There we go, that's better. Another one out here. Maybe another little one up here. Good. And then you're going to take some branches off of those. Touch where your branch and then move out. Touch your branch, move out. And maybe there's another one on this side. You're using your chiseled edge now. It's more black, a little bit of white on one side. Maybe got another one coming up here. So I start on what I already did and then I move out. Good. See? Makes it very easy. Touch, pull out. Touch, pull out. Touch, pull out. So touch off what you already did. Good. We'll do the same with the other side. So pick up your brown on one side of your brush and white on the other. Okay. And we'll make some same here. So you touch off what you already did, brown side down, and pull up and out. And another one up here. Using your chiseled edge will give you really nice branches. pick up some more paint. Touch. There we go. Good. And where else do we want one? I don't know. Let's just put some in there. Good. And we got some coming off of this one. Maybe another one here. So when you make your line, then you can make another branch off of that one. See? Good. Now we'll make some smaller ones. So let's get our long liner brush, okay, and pull through your brown, and put a little bit of white on the edge there if you like. Make sure one side is least dark, and then we'll add some more branches. So these lines that you already made, just start on them and just pull out another couple. Okay, I got too much white, so we'll go back and get some more brown. All right. So pull through your brown, not too much white, as we can see that didn't work. So we'll put the brown on there. Squiggle up some branches. We'll take one off of here, one off of here. Good. Another one off of this. So look for branches, and when you find your branches, take the smaller ones off the branch you already made. Squiggle a line up. Squiggle a line up. And if you don't push too hard, you get all these nice little thin lines. Good. Good. More off of here, right here. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Good. If your paint won't move, just add a bit of water to your brush, okay? See? Pull through your paint. And we'll go some more. See, if you don't push too hard, you get a really nice thin branches. Just look for branches and then take the smaller ones off, the ones you already did. Alright, and we'll do the black ones there now. Pull through your black, a little bit of white, and we'll dark side down, and we'll pull off some of these little branches here. Alright, we'll get it. There we go. That's it. All right, good. Okay, here comes the fun part. Let's hope that we can get this done so it looks good. So no matter what mine comes out like, you just do your own thing and have some fun with it. I'm just going to show you what I did. Okay, so now let's go back into our seasponge and tap into our colors that we want. Some yellows and reds. And maybe a little bit of green just to tone it down a little bit, because on this side the light is going to be there, so we're going to get some nice highlights there, and if we don't, we will add them after. But we're going to, right now, we're going to tap. I'm going to tap on our colors that we have here, and check it on something. Check it on a piece of paper or somewhere so that you know you're going to get some nice colors coming out. Because if you don't check it and you put it on your canvas, then and you don't like it, well, then you got to try and redo it. So try to check it out first. Let's see what happens. All right, now see all those little branches that I made? You're going to use them as a guide. So you start anywhere you want, but use those as a guide, okay? See, you just tap on those like that. Tap, 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 tap. Go get some more paint when you need it. Go get some more paint. Tap. And your sea sponge will do all the work for you. Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Good. More. One of those branches. See? If you need more branches down here, which I might put in some more there, because you don't realize what you need until you get started sometimes, you know. A little more yellow over the red there. That's the beauty of tapping like this, because you don't mush it up. And then when you add too much red, you can always add yellow over it. Okay. That looks nice. Good. I'm going to add some more down here. Alright. A little few ones out there, so you can see them coming out a little bit there. Good. And I'm going to add more red, a bit more yellow. Let's keep adding them until we're happy. But we don't want to cover up all the trees. We want to make them nice. So try to keep them so that they're not too mushy, so you can still see through them. And now on the other side, let's go into our red. And let's see. A little bit of yellow. And it's not as much this time. And maybe a little bit of green. So tap it off to see what's coming out. Okay, so it's that toned it down a bit. See? So let's try that. Alright, good. Because we want this over here is probably more in shadow because the sun is more on that side, on the left there. There we go. See how the sponge leaves openings? Isn't that great? And add more green, maybe a little bit of brown. Going into some of my dark colors here just to tone it down a little bit. Okay. Like I said, check it up here first. Check it somewhere so that you see if you like the colors, and you have to adjust them. Okay. So just tap away. Tap, tap, tap. But don't make them mushy. Good. Looking good. Add a little more green to my sponge and add a few more greens over here just to tone it down a little bit, because the sun is going to be mostly on the edge here. Good. So you can tap at it until you're really happy with it. It looks kind of nice there. I don't know if we need anything else. There's probably lots you can do with it, but I don't know if I want to add too much more. I want to bury these two bottoms here in some some of the fall colors there. I'm just going to tap in my reds and yellows and a bit of green, and I'm going to just sort of bury those so that they're coming up over those trees. There we go. See, so that way it looks like, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Good. So basically reds and yellow, a bit of green. Yeah, and we can probably put a little bit of white on it this time just to add a few little highlights down here and here. Not too much. Now let's see what we got here. Let's see. Let's put a couple of little, maybe there's the trees reflecting down here in the water, so just take some of your brown and white, brown on one side, white on the other, and just the brown side down, just follow that tree and see if you can get a little, there we go, not much, right? Get a little reflection down there, see? Maybe there's another one here, which are black. May not be able to see it. I'll just put a little, I'll just tap that one so I won't get too much on there. There we go, a little reflection there, and if you got a little reflection there, you might want to put a little bit of white over it. So let that dry first, and then pick up a little bit of white. Just use your flat brush if you want, and put a little bit of white, a bit of white water going over it, just to make it look like it's underwater. See? Now, I'll give you some close-up shots now in a second. Maybe you'll see all my mistakes. All my mistakes. Just so much you could do with it, you know. I could be at it for many, many hours. But if I give you the basic details of what we can do with it, then you can take many, many hours to add a few extras that you want to it, okay? Those rocks might have, they might have a little bit of a reflection under those, right? See? Always look for reflections, shadows, highlights. I think that's probably, I'm just tapping at these little rocks here. That's all tapping. This makes it easier for me to get those highlights under there without going too far with it. I'm just tapping a little bit of white there. There we go. So, yeah, so if you want to make a little bit of a shadow, you can just take a bit of black, either gray, dark gray, and just add a little bit of a shadow there if you want. A little tiny one. You know, you don't have to do it them all, but whatever you think you might need them. As long as you got your water line between them, it will show a separation. And I don't want to do too many. A little bit of shadow there. But you know, you get some reflections in water, and not all of them reflect, but I mean, you pick out some that you think might reflect, and then you can, and when you get your reflections, always add a little bit of water on top of those reflections so it looks like it's underwater, okay? So it's not like two rocks or something. If you want to separate them by reflections on top of the reflection of the rock, just to make sure it doesn't look like it's, there we go. That's good. Okay, it's pretty. There we go. So I'll give you a bit of a close-up there now. And I'll show you the comparison of the different paintings. So take that one. And that one. So you can compare, and then maybe you might want to make some changes, okay? And we'll do a couple of close-ups there for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you like it. And I enjoy doing it for you, and I hope I gave you some really easy techniques. So you can, you know, change up the colors of those trees. You can make them darker or lighter, more yellows in there, more burnt umber to, or burnt sienna is nice to tone them down, some green to tone them down, because green and red are complementary to each other, and the complementary color will tone down your red. So there we go. I think that's about it for now. So when you get your painting done, I'd love to see it. If you need any help, just email me at allisonprior@yahoo.com, and I'll do everything I can to help you. And I would love to see your paintings. So that's it for now. If you like it, just leave a comment so I'll know what you thought about it, and if you know, just any other way that I could teach more simple techniques for you. So have fun, and I'll see you in the next video. Signing out from Allison Prior. Bye. Well, thank you very much for painting along with me, and I hope you enjoyed that painting. And if you liked this video, then you can subscribe so you can get more free videos. And you can like, share if you could, if you think it could help other people. And if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments section below. And or you can email me at allisonprior@yahoo.com. So I'll see you in the next video.